Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing a tier list on the currently released as 3.4 version 3.4's Cryo characters. So I plan on doing all the elements, and I started with Cryo because it's one of my favorite. It's grown to be one of my favorite. The more and more Cryo characters I build and play, the more fun it is. They're certainly extremely fun to build, and utilize as main DPSs. So we'll get right into it. Starting off on the worst possible note is Aloy. Aloy, honestly, I don't know if it's a meme that she's bad or if she actually is bad, but I don't think I've ever, outside of like crazy like meme builds where they like have like insane amounts, like the best possible weapon and like insane artifacts, and she does like 60k with like 300% crit damage, some wild like nonsense like that. Like other than that, like she doesn't seem that good. Her kit's not that good. Um, I think I place her as an F tier, even though I will admit I don't know anything about her. Um, I just know a lot of people think she's bad, and I don't think anyone would not play her if she wasn't bad. You know, so I think it's pretty fair. Pretty confidently, I can say that she's F tier. Next up is Ayaka. Ayaka definitely S tier. She's got an extremely like unique and cool like moveset and everything. Like she can infuse her sword with like ice when she like dives into the ground or whatever. It's very cool. And her ult is like it's a pretty nice looking animation and everything. And being that she's a sword character, she has access to a lot of really good swords in the game, like the Primordial Jade Sword and the Mist Splitter and all that. She's definitely an S tier character. She's got great move set. Not a move set. I mean, move sets are kind of like irrelevant in Genshin. She's got a great hit. She's got great typing, and she's got access to swords, which is like all around, and elemental infusion. So it's like, and she can just dive under the ground and make everyone. You can build like frozen teams and stuff like that with her, and get it done like really easily. Really cool. And I don't mean to say really cool as like a continuous pun. It's just what I say. Moving on, Chongyun. Chongyun doesn't get a lot of love, but I think he's actually really good. I think he's really interesting. I think elemental infusions are just a really cool way of like building a team, because you just get so much variety. Like Chongyun's ability, not really Bennett's C6 because it kind of like makes him a little weird with some characters, but like his Chongyun's elemental skill and Candace's elemental burst, which gives your team water, and his gives your team ice. It's just really interesting stuff, and like there's just so much variety you can do. It makes some like teams like awkward, but like so it's like a little weird, like little strange how you have to build around him and his elemental skill to fully like get like the most from it, the absolute like maximum potential with like the right teams or whatever. But not only that, I think his like when you have his constellations and his normal attack does that like ice move that like shoots out like 3 shards. I think it's like really useful and really strong against like I would use them against like the water abyss heralds, even the ice one. I mean, even the electric one too. He's good against both of them, but mainly especially against the water one, because you just keep freezing him. But like it just does a lot of damage. It's really strong, and his ult, like it's like his burst. I mean, if we want to get technical, but his burst is like very strong. It just does a lot of damage. Like it's just like one little quick thing. It's like he just throws on little ice spirit blade. Not little, they're actually ginormous. But yeah, he's just a really solid character with a lot of really good damage output. I don't even have him built that well, and he still performs extremely well. He's a very fun character. I definitely recommend him. Maybe not in like early game, but like mid to late game when you have like enough characters built where you can kind of like not go out of your way to build a team for him, but like kind of like build a team around him a little bit with just characters that just happen to work well. Next up is Iona, bartender of the Cat's Keep. Easily S tier. One of the best supports in the game. She's like been out since like the child banner, and she's just been extremely good. Like cryo support is like it's really cool for electro physical characters because you know you get the support of them being cryo for superconduct, and then on top of that she does like she gives you shields, she heals, she does it all, and she's pretty funny too. She has some pretty great like voice lines. Like she has so many voice lines for her elemental skills and elemental burst or whatever. Like this one is like pew pew and like stuff like that. Like she's just a really fun character to play. It just makes her so lively and so like so full of personality. And on top of that, she's like really good in like in co-op domains too, because she gives like everyone shields and she has a little circle where everyone can heal. And I think it also gives like elemental mastery and some other stuff. She's just extremely good as a support character. Next up is Eula. It's really hard not to put Eula above Ayaka. I personally have Eula and not Ayaka. And Eula is like, you know what? It is my tier list. I will put her above Ayaka. But Eula is extremely strong. Even if she's like got like a nonsense weapon, like I have the Snow Tomb Silver on her because I've yet to pull another Red Horn Stone Thresher for her. I think I lost and I got like another Skyward Blade on Ito's last rerun, and I have not pulled another Wolf's Gravestone for her. Either one of those, well, like I'll accept on her. I mainly want the Stone Thresher on her because my Eula's like built insanely well. Like my Eula's crack dog, but she just needs a better weapon, and that's it. For now she's rocking the R5 Snow Tomb Silver, but like it's like it's some booty nonsense. Like it's just like some free to play garbage, and I'm not broke like you guys. Nah, I am broke like you guys, but eventually I'll get it on her. But she can still do like crazy amounts of damage. Her normal attack, like if you have like just a random just like electro support to make superconduct, her normal attack will like just hit crazy numbers, especially if you have like good crit rate and crit damage. Like she's just built to like physically hit like a truck. Like it is like insane. Like the numbers you hit on her ult, if her ult like hits like it's like a common meme that like you'll kill the enemy before her ult explodes. Like that's just wild. Like the character's so strong that sometimes her ult doesn't even matter. Like you won't even get the satisfaction of it. And if it does, then like it doesn't crit, and then it feels even worse, honestly. But like she's just a powerhouse. It's absolutely insane how good she is, how strong she is. And moving on, we have Ganyu. Ganyu's definitely up there. I think she's also better than Ayaka because she's a lot. She does such insane amounts of damage, but there is no like crazy setup. There is no actually, you know, I think she's better than Eula too. She's definitely the best cryo character by far. There's no like crazy setup. You can go for like a couple of different builds. You can go for like 4-piece Wanderer, like 4-piece Ice Set. Little differences like that. But she's literally just charged attack and then charged attack and release. That's it. And if you get her constellations are actually really good. I don't really like to talk about constellations for 5-star characters because it's like so difficult to get them, as opposed to like Diona and Chongyun, who like benefit a lot and it's easy to get them. Like these three, it's like you're throwing away kidneys and stuff. But Ganyu, she has like a really cool constellation kit. I don't know the other two off the top of my head, but it's like everything is like built around spamming the charge attack without having to charge it. So like her what's it called? Her elemental skill, like you'll get like 2 of them, and then like once you use one of them, you can instantly shoot a charged shot without having to like power it up. It was just already powered up or something like that. So you just have this extremely fast gameplay. Like it just seems so fast paced and cool and fun. But even without that, like just standing there, just maybe with a shield or something, or you have like a distraction going or whatever, she just stands there, shoots for crazy numbers. And that sounds like boring. They're just standing there shooting, but just seeing the numbers and just seeing like the shots just spread out and the sound it makes is a very, very like addicting sound. Her fully charged shot when it like spreads out, it sounds so cool. And like I can never get over it. Like every week whenever I fight the Valen and I pull out Ganyu, it's just so like pleasing to the ear to hear that or whatever it is. And the numbers are just crazy. It's just like 30,000, 40,000. Like I didn't do anything. I didn't even like go that hard in building her until like later. And then she's just hit like even crazier and crazier. But yeah, Ganyu, definitely best Cryo character as of 3.4. Probably forever, honestly. Next up is Kaya. Kaya is like probably like C tier. I don't know. I don't like personally know anyone who has used him outside of like AR like 15. Like you just get better characters, cooler characters, more unique characters, and you don't want to play. You don't want to play him anymore. And if you do stick with him, he's probably not going to be that good. Like I know he has some cool constellations, but unlike other 4-stars, he's a lot harder to get the constellations for. Like I have C6 Lisa and Amber, and actually I have like C7 Amber because I pulled her again. But like Kaya, I have like C1 Kaya, and he's just he's got some cool constellations. Like one of them increases his crit rate. One of them gives him like a little shield, which is like some cool stuff. I think one of them, it's either his talent or constellation, but like he like heals himself a little bit, which is like, it's like, hey, it's, you know, you get a little shield, you get a little healing, like a little self-sufficient. It's a little kind of handy to have. But it's hard to get the constellations for him. Maybe even harder than getting the constellations for a 5-star. And I don't even think his damage and everything's out there. Maybe as a support, he's a pretty good character because his ice things are like his ice circles are really, really like useful for like elemental reactions and stuff like that. But you could do that, or you could have like Chichi or Rosaria or Diona, who are all just better than Kaya in like many ways. So I just think he's very outclassed and not as useful as other characters. Moving on is Layla. Layla, I personally do not really like her gameplay and her style, but she is a pretty solid character. I think she's pretty middle of the road. Like, I think she's the only... She's, well, her and Diona, they both have cryo shields, but hers are like, they have like homing missiles and stuff like that, which seems pretty solid. She can do stuff, she can like trigger reactions and protect you, which is really cool. But I think there's like I said, there's just better like supports you could play. Like I don't think she's that good. I don't think she's that useful, and she's very boring. Like she literally goes to sleep in her gameplay. Like how interesting could you be? Next up is Chichi. I think Chichi is really good. I think people have just heard about Chichi because they pull her when they want a banner 5-star part of the game, and like you just like it's very annoying to see people constantly complain and whine about it, bro. It's part of the experience, part of the fun. Like it's part of like the dopamine. Like yo, like man, it's a goal. Is it gonna be them, or is it gonna be the one I want, or is it gonna be one of the 6 I don't want? Like it's part of the experience. But like people just end up hating the standard banner characters by an insane amount because they just don't want them. But that doesn't mean they're bad. I don't think any of them are that bad. I don't think any of them are bad, period. I think they're all pretty good in their own rights and useful. And Chichi is the same thing. I actually really like Chichi. I was very happy when I pulled her. I don't remember what banner I lost a 50-50 in, but whatever. Like I got Chichi. And sometimes I get constellations. I'm just like that. So it's like if you get a new character and you try to get a constellation and you get like a standard banner character, like bro, that's like in some cases that might even be better than getting the constellation. Now you're guaranteed the next character, and you've got like And if it's a new standard banner character, then it's like, oh, now I have 2 characters to play and build and try out. Maybe you just skip them, whatever, but maybe down the line you'll build them. Eventually, it's a waste to get a 5-star and not build them. So eventually you just build them. And Chichi's very worth it. I remember early game when I pulled her, like bro, I had a healer for like, I think she was my first healer I built, just because she was like, I really liked her as a character. Like she's got such an interesting story, very funny mannerisms, and she has the very like dead voice, which is just like so like funny in comparison to like like many more lively characters like Klee and Diona. Like there's like she's just so dead, but it's like it's not boring because like she's a zombie. Like she's just like that, and it's just very funny. It's fortune preserve and stuff like that. Like she just sounds hilarious, and you know the run and everything. But she's a healer mainly, and her elemental skill, it has a very long cooldown, but it has a little ice ball around her that every few ticks it like swirls around and does some ice damage, and that's just like her elemental skill is high as burst, so it's like, and you could just run like the sacrificial sword on her, and it'll just reset its cooldown eventually, like from its ability, especially if it's R5. It's basically always going to activate, and like it's just as useful as it can get. And her normal attack will like put a little talisman on someone, and then when you hit them, it'll heal your whole party. Like that's pretty good. Like, and that's just like you don't have any setup for that. Like you just hit them a couple of times, and she just does that. And then her burst like hits everyone with ice, and then it'll like, I don't remember if it'll mark everyone or like mark someone, or but yeah, her burst does stuff. But like the little ice ball going around, very good, very useful. She works really well with like a physical. I played her with like a physical Beto, and when you hit Beto's ult and use this ability, it's like everyone's just getting super conducted. You're going in. Next up, we have Rosaria. Rosaria is another one that I think is really good. Damn, I don't think she's. Sadly, I don't think she's quite S tier, because like her constellations and everything are really good, but I think it's just very hard to build between like physical and ice, because her burst and her skill are both ice, and she doesn't have like any like crazy attacks that do like a lot of physical damage. So it's like it's kind of a little weird to try and like build for like one and not the other. So it's like I kind of have like a split build on my Rosaria. She does pretty well. She like lowers physical damage. She I don't know if she lowers physical like your enemy's physical defense. Like I know she does that, but I think she also does cryo defense, because I think that's like the thing. It's like physical and cryo both at the same time. Because like Eula is the same way too, but you're not building a cryo Eula. But like she's still got like really cool like other aspects. Like you can play her as like a support for like an electro physical DPS character, because her ult has like really good ticks, and one of her constellations extends the amount of seconds it's prolonged like out for like a couple of seconds. She also increases crit rate, I think. Like I don't remember, like I should have read up on her because I don't fully remember, but like she's got a couple of cool aspects about her. And like I think she's best as like a support character, but I built her as a DPS because I just build characters as DPS because they're funner. But as a support for like an electro character, like she does a lot in terms of like lowering resistances and helping with superconduct. And like she's a really cool like R2 skill. Like she like teleports behind them, little like ice slash. Really cool stuff. Really like dope character. Like 10 out of 10. Like perfect. One of the best. And last up we have Shenha or whatever it is. I think in terms, I think she's like, I think she's right next to Chongyun. I know she's a really good cryo support, but I just don't see it. Like, she's a very fun character to play and build, and like, I enjoyed her a lot. She's a really cool character overall and whatnot. But I just didn't I didn't see enough of, like, maybe I didn't build her right or something. But when I was playing her, like, I tried her out with Ganyu and Rosaria, and I just didn't see the appeal. Like, the numbers weren't, like, there enough. Like, when I used, like, her ult, and then I stood in there or whatever, and then, like, I shot Ganyu's arrows. Like, it just wasn't enough to be like, wow, I built this entire character to help out my Ganyu, and it just doesn't, like, it's just not there. Um, but she can still do other stuff like cryo applications and whatnot, lowering resistances, which still makes her, like, useful as a support overall. Because, like, it's weird because they she's built to be a support character, but she is she's like, in story in the lore, like, she's just like so violent and, like, strong. It's kind of strange that she's a support character. But overall, she's still really good. I still built her as, like, a sort of support. Yeah, I mainly built her for support because her main thing is, like, attack. Yeah, so I built her for attack, and she still does some decent damage. I was still playing her as, like, a just a player, but as a support, not really. Like, I just didn't see it. But that's it for my list of my tier list of cryo characters. If you guys want to see me do the other elements, let me know let me know. And thank you guys for watching. Any questions, comments, concern, you can leave them down below, and any feedback, also leave it down below. Take care.